Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. You may know me as Sin, you may know me as Robert, whatever you know me as. Thank you for checking out the video. You may be asking yourself, what is this boy up to now? Well, I've started a new YouTube channel that is going to focus on wholesaling real estate. What is wholesaling real estate? Just in case you're unfamiliar, you're not necessarily selling properties, you're selling contracts on properties. You go, you find party A who is motivated in selling their property below market value maybe, and you find somebody else, say party C, because you're party B, who is willing to pay more for the property than you have it under contract for it. You turn the paperwork into an attorney, they do some magic stuff, and boom, you're at a closing with both parties and you're making the difference in between what you have the contract for and what you were able to sell the contract for. It's a beautiful business. It's simple, but it's not easy. And that's what I want to talk to you today about. A friend of mine hit me up and said, hey bro, I know you've been doing this for a while. I'm no guru by any means. Trust me, my track record speaks that I'm not a guru. But I know a lot about the game and I feel in my heart I'm great at giving game back to people. So he convinced me to start a YouTube channel, start telling my story, start telling things that I've been through that maybe you can find some value in to help you throughout your real estate journey. One thing I want to talk about today is staying inspired, especially during the hard times when you feel like things are not going forward. Tell you a little bit about my story. Once again, hopefully you find some value and motivation in it to stay consistently on your grind. I got my first contract on my property, what I feel was pretty fast. Maybe people have done it faster, I'm sure they have. I got my first contract within 2 weeks. Now, if you've been doing wholesaling, you know some of you have been doing it for months and you haven't even closed one deal or even got a contract. Some of you might have been doing it for years. I know because I've talked to you personally and you cannot find a contract to save your life. I found mine in 2 weeks. Not to brag, but I did the damn thing. Now, mind you, it was a horrible deal. Did I know that? No. I just went out there and took action. I picked up game from watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, and I just took action and I made it happen. That helped me realize that it was possible. So, quick story. I looked on, Craigslist. Looked on Craigslist for my deal. I was on there going to people who had properties for rent and I was reaching out to them. Are you interested in selling? Are you interested in selling? No, get out of here, go to hell, go yourself, all crazy things. And then finally, somebody said, yeah, I do want to sell. Actually, the tenant just moved out. I'm in the middle of fixing a few things up. Come take a look at the property. This is back in 2010 now. It's a while ago. So we're kind of just now getting out of the whole recession thing, still going through it, but kind of getting out of it because it happened in 08. But anyways, went and go take a look at the property. It was in an okay area, but property needed some work. I think it needed a new roof, it needs some flooring, some painting, nothing too crazy. But I was like, all right, cool, man. What do you want to sell the house for? He was like, hey, $34,000. Bet, let's do it. $34,000, we can make it happen. I did what I thought was running comps, looking on Zillow. Although I didn't have any knowledge, I just checked Zillow. Whatever number I saw, gotta be right. Let's make it happen. It was saying the property was worth like 90 something. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I just found me a great deal. I went to all these little meetings, the RIA meetings, these investor meetings, trying to sell that property. Nobody wanted to buy it. They kept asking me, where did you get these numbers from? Like, you're way off. These numbers are wrong. First of all, I thought the property only needed maybe like 7,000 worth of work. Nope, needed more than that, for sure. I thought that it was in a decent area, ARV 90 something. Nope, was wrong about that. ARV was like, I think 60, 70, something like that. Long story short, I found out it was not a deal. Although I got my contract in 2 weeks, I was not able to sell it. It was a horrible deal and I had to back out and that crushed my confidence. Although I had the confidence knowing that it was a possibility because hey, I had the contract. It slapped me in the face when I was not able to sell it because I thought I was gonna move it as quick as I got it. And when I did not, I was like, wow, this is hard. So I stayed at it, stayed consistent, although I wanted to quit, trust me. But I had a full-time job, making decent money, at least what I considered decent money, but I was missing out on being at home with my family. I worked at second and a half shift because it wasn't second shift, it wasn't third shift. I went in at 6:30, I got off at like 2:30 in the morning, so it was kind of in between. But anyways, I had to get out of there. That job was killing me. I did not want to be part of the job anymore. So I was like, look, man, I got to make this work. I almost made it work. So if I stayed with it, I could turn it into a deal. Stayed focused, and I kept grinding, and things just kept falling apart left and right. I mean, I wasn't finding any motivated people that wanted to sell. I didn't have a buyer's list at the time because I wasn't even focused on that, and I was just draining myself because I felt like I was not moving forward. But I just kept doing the actions, taking the action steps, walking out on faith, hoping something would pay off. Few months later, I think it was maybe like 2.5, maybe 3 months later. I don't know exactly when, I don't want to lie to you. That same seller that had that property that I had on the contract that was bad, he called me back because everything fell apart and I had to back out of the contract. I totally forgot that part of the story. I backed out of the contract, said, hey, you know, it's way over the budget that I thought it was going to be. He didn't have any issues. He was fine. He said, cool, let's just go ahead and terminate. We terminated the contract. Like I said, I struggled for a few months, I think. Then he called me back. And he was like, hey, look, man, I know things didn't work out with that last deal, but I like the way you handled yourself. You were very professional. You were easy to work with. And I want to give you an opportunity on another property. Woo! Happy as ever. Because I feel like my consistent grind was finally paying off. Although I wasn't following up with this particular guy, I was staying faithful to the grind, staying consistent with the work. He just happened to call back. He said, I got this great property I want you to sell. Over the few months, I have been doing a little research, learning how to narrow in my numbers a little more. So I felt a little more confident. He gave me an address. I ran the numbers. I said, yo, this might be a deal. What do you want to sell it for? I'm going to sell it for $3,500. Bro, what? You meant 35,000, right? You had a typo with your voice because you said 3,500. You meant 35,000. No, I meant 3,500. What? Are you sure? I looked at the address. It's in the okay area. Are you sure? Yeah, see what happened was the house was burnt down. Oh, you should have led with that. You should have told me that from the beginning. So the property had a tenant in place. The tenant burnt down the house to collect some insurance money or something like that. Took the money, bounced, left that guy with the house. The guy did something, I don't know. He got the insurance money. He was just ready to sell the house. He didn't care at this point. I said, cool, 3,500. I mean, it's worth another shot. Put the property on the contract, and I went out there and I was trying my hardest to find somebody who wanted to buy it. Couldn't find anybody. Now, I was so desperate, I was posting Craigslist ads to sell this house in like Maryland, Virginia, California, everywhere. I didn't care. I was posting this property. It was here in North Carolina. But I was like, yo, somebody's gonna have to want to buy this. Kept posting it. In the meantime, I was trying to sell that property. Another lead that I've been working for a few months called and said, hey, I want to sell a house too. Guess how much? $3,500. Yes, another $3,500 house. This was like 5-bedroom, 3-bath house, but it was in a bad part of town. But they hadn't lived there. They inherited the property and it was just sitting there. So they said, look, I'll sell it to you $3,500. Bet. So now I had 2 properties I'm out here trying to sell. I got them 35, ran it for $7,000 and I can't find anybody to buy the first one. So I'm like, man, now I got this other one to sell too. So I took them, put them as a package deal, threw them out there on the internet. Like I said, I was posting it everywhere. And somebody from DC called and said, hey, I might be interested in the property. Never been to Greensboro a day in my life, but I have some family that live there. I want to buy a property, invest in the area. I want to make an offer sight unseen. What? Do you understand this house is burnt down? Do you understand this other house, although it's big, it's not in a great area? There was some crazy bum that lived in there when we walked through the property and he was mad that we were in his property. That's not his property. Another different story. Are you sure? They said, yeah. I said, wow, this is great. After fighting for so long and trying to push forward and nothing working out, trust me, I done talked a crazy amount of buyers. Nobody wanted to pay the price. I told you the first property I got under contract, they laughed at me. They told me I was crazy, I was dumb. Where did I get these numbers from? Obviously out of my ass, because I just pulled them out of nowhere. And I was wrong, but I stayed consistent because I knew it was possible and I kept pushing forward. And boom, now I'm here finally with a buyer who wants to close on the property. Yes, instantly, let's write it up. Made it happen. I sent them over a contract, they signed, everything was going great. I'm skipping a lot of the story because this video is mad long already. Anyways, the day of closing, they show up and see the properties for the first time. They have no idea about the neighborhoods because they're not from here. I'm trying to tell them all I can. On top of this, they spoke a different language than I did. So there was a language barrier. They understood me a little bit, I understood them none. We're literally, the attorney had talked to them, they wired the money in the day before. We're literally at closing and they didn't want to sign. They said, hey, maybe we don't want these properties anymore. Something had happened. I can't remember exact details because 10 years ago, bruh. something happened to where we had to readjust the numbers, and they were scared they weren't going to receive their money back. They had already wired in what they thought they needed, but they needed less. So they was like, well, am I getting my money back? I'm not signing it. The language barrier had everybody just like going crazy because nobody could talk to them and they didn't really understand us. Like the deal was falling apart. The sellers were like, yo, what's going on? We've already signed. Where's our check? And we just had to keep pushing them off. And finally, had the right idea. I called one of my friends who spoke their language and he was able to talk to them. He told them what was going on. After speaking to him, they felt a lot more at ease. They also felt better because I knew somebody who was able to communicate with them. Sometimes it's about being a problem solver, knowing this is going wrong. What can I do to solve that problem in order to get to the next step? And that's what I did. He was able to save the deal. They finally closed. They finally signed. I sat at this attorney office because it was my first check, literally 9 hours waiting. Any minute now, I'm gonna get paid. I didn't even get paid. I called out of work. I missed work that day. Didn't even go to my job because I thought I was getting a check. Did not get a check that day. Got it the next day, but it was all worth it in the end because I stayed consistent. I kept working. I kept pushing. I even had a partner at that time that I had met through Bigger Pocket. He hit me up on there. Come to find out, he was a thief. He was somebody you could not trust. After this deal, I think we made $7,500. I only got paid $3,000. I mean, it was close to half, but he kept the other little part of the money because he was a thief, and that should have been my first sign, but no, I didn't learn. I kept working with him, and I got burnt in the end to where charges was pressed against us. That's a different video, man. I can't give you everything to begin with. Just know you're going to go through adversities. It's not going to be easy, but if you give up, you will never make it to the other end. You gotta stay consistent. You gotta stay working. You have to keep the faith. I almost spit all over myself. That was nasty. Just showing you, man, it might seem easy at the beginning. Like I said, got my first contract in 2 weeks, but it didn't turn out as a good deal. I was lucky enough, or I was professional enough that the guy wanted to call me back and work with me on another property that I was able to sell. But remember, I couldn't sell that for the longest either until I was able to make it a package deal that somebody from out of state wanted to buy. And they never did anything with those properties. Just as an update, that burnt property still burnt. The other property still just sitting there. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. I just want to tell you, stay focused and stay committed to the grind. You can make this happen. Don't worry about the obstacles. All you have to do is focus on the end goal. You'll make it through everything else. Hope you found some value in this video. If not, that's your fault. If you did, that's my fault. Please, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Please make sure you check back though. I'm going to continue to do these videos, do a little more in-depth videos, actually teach you some things, show you some things to try to help elevate your business, add some value to your life to make sure that you continue to reach success. Until the next video, peace, my people. Hope you have a wonderful day.